Hey y'all, today I am working with the new IOD snow globe, and of course I'm making it Halloween style. These molds that you're seeing in the very beginning of the video I purchased through Amazon to use with the molds, and right now I am making the small items that go inside and outside of the molds. The resin was very hard to pour into these little ghosts, so I ended up just pouring the resin and just scraping it across to try to get as many ghosts as I could, but I did have to cut out each one of those. After I painted the crescent moon, I dabbed some of burnt umber paint on top to give it a more nightly moon effect. The resin stars that you see there, you won't see me use those in this video because I am doing a review of a Let's Resin curing machine, which is what you see here, the bottom part of the tray. Um, the first one that I did not turn out the way I wanted it. So I decided that I wasn't going to remake the resin stars, that I was going to use the glitter silver and gold stars instead. This mold holds 46 milliliters, so I'm only going to fill it up halfway, which will be 20. And I will place the items inside.
I let this sit about 30 minutes. Normally I let it sit a little longer than that, but I was running out of time. And I used the top of the curing machine just to cover it, and that'll keep dust from settling into the wet resin. Now I am filling the rest of the way, and you see that I had to move things back into place where it shifted. And then I put the curing machine cover back on, press the button, and it is ready. It automatically goes off in 3 hours, and then it's ready to demold. So now I'm working on the back casting. I am placing the crescent moon and the frog inside, and I keep moving the casting for the front over it to make sure I am placing the items correctly. Adding more resin to the mold, and then I will be putting in the silver and gold stars. Now it is time to put the front casting on, and I'm holding up on with my right hand on that side, and I'm pushing with my left hand and pushing out the bubble. You can see it there going along. It's now to the moon, and then I do have to stick in my little metal pointer thing and push the moon over just a little bit, and that helps get that bubble over the moon, and then there it goes. And I push down on the rest of the casting and make sure there's no more bubbles inside. Now I will be using an alcohol wipe, and I will wipe off the resin on top of the casting. From squeezing it, I got a little bit of resin around it. These castings are some of the items I'm going to put on the outside, some in the front and some in the back. And that will give it like a 3D effect. Now I'm putting on the antiquing wax and wiping away the excess. And this is the first of the shelf sitters. What do you think? Let me know down below. This one will be an ornament or just hang on something. But the very bottom of this is white, and that won't matter because I'm going to be painting the base. So you won't even see the white. And then after I decoupage this, I will put a hook on, and then I will apply the back image, which will be the same image. And I had to get a little creative with this because I didn't want to resize and print another one, but the original size is a 5x7, so I had that already printed out. So the part of the witch and the broom was still seen, so I ended up cutting a part of the moon and just pieced over it, and you will see that in a minute. In the video a couple weeks ago, it was the fall pumpkin stained glass ornament. I had several people asked how I sized the digital images, and I decided I was going to do that during this video. So as soon as I finish with this ornament, I will show you how I sized this one. And you have to have Word and Windows to do the method that I used. I also recorded the tutorial on how I did the stained glass pumpkins, because you had multiple, it was like maybe 6 to 8 images on one sheet, and so I show you how to cut out one of the images and then paste it into Word to resize each individual one. I start out in Word and then I select Insert Pictures, this device, and then I click on Downloads, select the image, and then click Insert. And then I right click and then select Size and Position. I leave the locked ratio boxes checked, leave those on, and then I change the size of what it needs to be. And the width will size along with the height, and so they will look really good. They won't be stretched out or anything. They will stay locked in that ratio. And then, yep, and then press print. Next is this crystal ball, and it will have a hook to hang. And once again, I will cut this image out with white on it, but I'm also painting the base so it won't matter. And the back image will be the same image again, and I will cut all the white off of it, and you will see me paint the bottom half of the back side black, so when I put the image over it, it will look really good. when I go to resize this image, it is a bit different. It has a box made around the image, so I have to size up even higher so that when I cut out the crystal ball image, it will be the size I need. So I'm going to show you that. So that's what I mean, the extra space between the image and the box. So I have to make it bigger. So the next resizing tutorial is the stained glass pumpkins, and all the images is on one sheet. So I will have to individually select one image off of this. So how I do that, on your keyboard there's a Windows button, Shift and S, and you hit all those at the same time, and you'll get like this crosshair little cross, and you will start in one corner and drag it down to the other corner, and try to not to get a lot of the white in it, because that would be resized with your image. So it's automatically copied into your clipboard, and so then you go into Word, hit Control V, and your image will appear in your document. And you'll do the same thing, right click, size and position, and then here I wasn't able to get the width to 3 inches without unlocking the ratios, because it made the height too tall. So I changed the width to 3.08. That's what it wanted to put in. So I put 3.08. And then for the height, it's 3.58. So I go back and forth on that, but I end up leaving it at 3.58. And then I click OK. And then if you need another image from that page, you would do the same thing. You would hit your window key, Shift and S, and then select your next image, and then you can put it next to this image, and you can build your document that way. This is like the stained glass pumpkin image that I did in the fall tutorial a couple weeks ago. So I will do the same thing. I will cut out just this one image, paint the base gold, and then I'll turn it over, paint the back of the base gold, and I'll leave the top part just white, so that when you put it in front of a light source, the light will make it look like stained glass. Also, on top of the gold, I'll do antiquing wax and wipe off the excess, and then I will put a hook on it. This will be the last project. It will be like the first one I did with the cat sitting next to the crescent moon. This one will be a tombstone and ghost flying around it. It's going to be a shelf sitter, and it will be one-sided though. And then on the front, on the base, I will attach Ghost of Christmas Past, Jacob Marley. And then on the back side, I will attach more Flying Ghost. And this is when I realized I didn't have any gray paint, so I had to mix some up. ghosts have open eyes and mouth, so I am putting a little resin to fill those up, and I'm trying to get out the air bubbles, and that will help when I turn it over and put it into the resin, and that will help eliminate most of the bubbles. Everything I use in this video, I will link down below, by the way. I wanted an off-white color for the hands and the face, so I mixed Beachcomber Beige, I believe it is called, and with white. And I want it to be like a ghostly color. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. It was a really long one, and I tried to make it as short as possible. I sped through areas, and I'm glad you stick to the end. I did use the heat gun on Ghost of Christmas Past to heat up the hands so it'll be able to conform to the mold, and I glued it on. And then here is me putting on the ghost on the back side. This is a really cute one. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already.